Hello, my name is Dr. Priscilla, and I'd like to share with you today the idea, the opportunity, and the concepts of what a 15-minute session with me would be like. For example, the conversational hour, or in this case, the conversation for 15 minutes, can be about any topic of your choice. Oftentimes, though, the English foreign language learner has no real idea as to what that first class should be like. So I wanted to introduce you today to a first class of conversational English. In this class, we are going to talk about President Obama's wife, Michelle Obama. She is known as the First Lady, and I'm very happy to share this information about a very inspirational female, a powerful woman of the United States. The 15-minute session then begins with my reading an article. If you were taking a 15-minute class with me, you would, of course, have the article or the content of what we're going to talk about prior to the class. Once you enter into the classroom, we would talk for the entire 15 minutes. Primarily, the language learner would be doing the most talking. I would facilitate your learning. Facilitate your learning means that I would encourage you to speak. I would ask you specific questions. I would focus on the vocabulary. I would even rephrase some of the things that you say just to clarify in my mind and to clarify for you how you might want to say something. I do want to point out that clarifying and grammar is not the same thing. Conversational English is just this, being able to communicate so that the person that is listening to you can clearly understand what it is that you want to say and you want that person to know. I'm going to start out now reading the autobiography of Michelle Obama. Keep in mind, you would have had this article prior to the conversation. I'm going to share my screen with you and read the article. Now, I think I said that this was her autobiography. Of course, I misstated, and an autobiography is something that the individual will write about themselves. This is a biography that is actually written about Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is the wife of U.S. President Barack Obama. She is also a lawyer and a former Chicago City administrator and community outreach worker. Reared in a blue-collar home on Chicago's South Side, she was an associate at a law firm when she met Obama. He was a summer intern, and she was assigned to advise him. She worked in the offices of Chicago's mayor and its planning commission, headed a career training program for young adults, and directed community affairs for the University of Chicago and its medical center. She caught the eye of a national audience at her husband's side after he delivered a high-profile speech at the Democratic National Convention in 2004, and then was elected that year to the U.S. Senate. In 2007, she scaled back her own professional work to attend to family and campaign obligations during Obama's run for president. She took her turn as a speaker on the opening night of the 2008 Democratic Convention, and her husband was elected president on 4 November 2008. She became First Lady with his inauguration on 20th of January 2009 and received a second four-year term as First Lady when Barack Obama was re-elected on November 6, 2012. Michelle Obama is a 1985 graduate of Princeton University. Her brother, Craig Robinson, class of 1983, was a basketball star there and is now a college coach. Although she's younger than Barack Obama, she graduated from Harvard Law School first in 1988. She didn't cross paths there with her future husband, who graduated in 1991. The Obamas were married in 1992 and have two daughters, Malia, born 1998, and Natasha, called Sasha, born 2001. Now that completes the reading. Keep in mind, this is something that you would have received prior to the 15-minute class. In that 15-minute class, we may do several things. We could discuss questions such as when and where was Michelle born? This information is in the article, and I would actually listen to you create a complete sentence as you discuss or answer the question, when and where was Michelle born? And we would work together and could until you could say in a complete sentence, Michelle was born in Chicago. She was born on the south side of Chicago. What kind of childhood did Michelle have? Now, you will not necessarily find this answer in this article, but based upon what you've read, you may be able to formulate some type of an opinion. And what kind of work did she do in Chicago before marriage? That information is clearly stated here that she is also a lawyer and a former Chicago city administrator, as well as a community outreach worker. She did those things prior to becoming the wife of President Obama. Then we would talk about true or false questions. You would give me a complete statement, if you would, about the truth. Is Michelle Obama the U.S. First Lady? And you would formulate your sentence, and the sentence structure may be something like this. Yes, Michelle Obama is a U.S. First Lady. Does she have two daughters and two sons? No, she does not have two daughters and two sons. At the current time, she has two daughters. Michelle worked as a news anchor in Nebraska. No, she did not work as a news anchor, but she did work in a law firm as an associate. Michelle is a 1985 graduate of Princeton University, and that is correct. Michelle did graduate in 1985 from Princeton University. We would further look at vocabulary and talk about the vocabulary that is in the article: lawyer, intern, delivered, former, assigned, profile, outreach, advise, elected, reared, directed, and scaled. I would ask you to pay close attention to the ED endings. Sometimes it has the D sound. We just take the simple form of the word rear and add reared, direct, directed, scaled, 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 elect, elected, outreach, advise, assigned, 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 delivered, delivered. And once you practice with those past tense words, it will become easier for you to use them once you start to understand how these words are used in your discourse for conversation. With 6 minutes remaining in class, it doesn't seem that it's long, but you would still have 6 minutes more to talk about things of interest to you. And I would make sure that you would leave the session with something that you could definitively say that you had learned. Then I would encourage you to practice what you have learned today, ask questions, and anything that you can't understand prior to reading, you have access to me 24 hours a day. Just Skype me your questions, and I would be more than happy to try and entertain you with an answer. So, with that said, I look forward to meeting each of you. And if you have problems reaching me in Skype, you can also give me a phone call. You'll find the information in the Skype address below. Thanks for listening. Now, you do have actually 5 minutes remaining in this session. Since I am in this session alone, I'm trying to give you the general idea of what 15 minutes is like. So if you still have 5 minutes remaining, you can bet you can have a great session with me. Thank you so much for listening. This is Dr. Priscilla. Enjoy the day. Bye for now.